Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, February 22nd. We are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And I'm going to have all of these pretty much in smaller shapes so we can look at what's transpiring this morning. First and foremost, a bunch of things to talk about. Hope you had a good weekend. I am holding a free webinar on this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on GoToMeeting.com. I'll put the link out on Twitter probably by tomorrow or Wednesday. It's going to be basically about how Window Trader works and what it can do for you, but it's also going to be a recap of what's gone on in the market this week up to that point. The gentleman who's doing it with me, who is affiliated with Window Trader, is an ES trader, an excellent trader, so he'll tell us what he sees, what he looks at, and it should be a pretty good informative session. So I'll put that link out. So what's going on this morning? Well, a lot's going on. We will have gap rules that are in effect. We will also have balance rules which are in effect, and they're all going to have to be put into context. So let's go over and start first with the Russell. So right now in the Russell, as you can see, they're not looking to gap lower. They came out of a 6-day balance 3 days ago. Since then, they've attempted to get back in. Friday, they attempted to get back into it. And now, for now, they're trading towards the bottom of Friday's range. But they're in a 3-day balance, and they're not looking to gap lower just yet. Definitely a different story than the SPY, ES, and the triple Qs. Here's the triple Qs, same thing. They came out of a balance later in the week last week, attempted to get back into it. Now, not only are they looking to gap lower, but look where we're trading right now. And this is the important thing. Now, you hear me say this all the time. One day doesn't make a market, and it doesn't. One morning certainly doesn't make a market. Are we going to gap lower and get acceptance below this previous 3-day balance into the gap? That's where things get dicey if that starts to occur, because then everybody who's long for these past 13 days can start getting nervous and start getting out of their positions. And that's also when you get the shorts that pile in. Then on the SPY, same thing. So here's the SPY. It's going to be the same as the ES. We've been in a 9-day balance. Here's your 9-day balance, 3, 6, 9. Now, that's this day where you had that small little gap. So we're attempting to get to the bottom of that day and possibly fill that gap. Don't forget, we had change take place here big time on the 4th. Haven't seen it since. That's where the price spike was. We have not seen it since. So if you start getting acceptance, and you'll see this on the weekly chart and the daily chart when we get to it, but if you start getting acceptance below there, then you can certainly be in for
the House of Pain.
So let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So right now on the upside, we are going to use Friday's low of 389.55 as our first upside destination. So right now, that's a gap of over 250 ticks. That's a pretty large gap. So, and you're also literally just below. Remember I said those 2 weekly lows are very close to each other? That's a target? Well, guess what? That's where we are. We're just below them right now. So that's what we're going to talk about when we come as far as a game plan. So that's your first upside destination. Then above that, remember, we went out with a price probe. So J's low of 389.66. Then we have today's overnight high of 390.07 and then 391.05. J's afternoon rally high from Friday and 392.38 Friday's high. For the downside right now we're attempting to take out one daily low, 2 weekly lows. So I'm going to still give you those 2 weekly lows since we're still right around the ballpark and there's still 75 minutes to go prior to the opening. So 387.74, that's last week's low. Then we have 387.50, which is this week's low. That's the bottom of the 9-day balance. Below that, we have 387.42, 10 wide from February 5th. Right here. Below that, We have 386.49, that daily low, and then fill in that small gap at 386.24. And right now, inside of that, we have our overnight low of 386.29, and then that 385.46 price probe from the 4th, 384.97 afternoon pullback from the 4th, 382.78 daily low. So, what's the game plan for this morning? So again, you can hear everybody screaming, gap rules apply, this and that. Yes, gap rules will apply in context. The market right now is short. So we're going to see if, a couple of things. Do I want to take a short 250 ticks below if we were to open around here, right against two very visual weekly lows? I don't. I'm not saying they can't go through them and keep going. But those are two very visual levels where you just might get a bounce the first time and an inventory correction. So if this gap is 250 ticks or more, I am not looking to take a short play. Oh, just wait for more market-generated information. Now, do I want to take a call play? That remains to be seen. You're going to have lower value. You're going to have the gap. But if we test those two weekly lows and do not get acceleration below them, you might get some inventory adjustment, and then you could take a long against those. Obviously, any acceptance below those two weekly lows, and I'm out of the trade, especially if it occurs in B period and we start one-time framing down. As far as the put play, if we were to open, get an inventory adjustment, and drive up decent amount, and my risk reward against Friday's low gets a lot better, then I certainly have no problem taking a put play against the gap. And then if the gap fills, I would get out of it. Again, these are such early plays that we're given right now. If you're in the CamelbackTrading.org's voice channel room, you're getting these up-to-the-date minute ideas the entire trading day while this profile is being live streamed. And then on the chart, again, I'm just going to show you the SPY this morning. So the monthly is still very healthy. Last month's high is 385.85. We're not even there yet. But even if we get into that, it's not a disaster. We're still one-time framing up. This is the important one. We're one-time framing up for 3 weeks, but now we're attempting to take out two weekly lows. That's not the issue for buyers. The issue is if you start getting acceptance into this 5-week balance. Because again, any acceptance into there, and then the bottom of that balance becomes the ultimate target, which is around between the 365, 370 level. So that's what the buyers have to worry about if you get acceptance into there. And then on the daily, just like you saw on the profile, here's your 9-day balance. Coming out of it, attempting to take out this low and this small gap. That's the question. Are the sellers finally going to show up where we get acceptance below this 9-day balance? Remains to be seen. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.